work its way out a little bit at this point. We want to see a little bit of a, we rejected an IB low there. An upper band. So far, we're trading in balance, guys. Balance market, fading value area extremes.
I don't know how much longer this could go.
We can get some VWAP scalps. Vance playbook. Okay. Let's see if this works now. There we go. Okay. I just had a, you know, the technical fix sometimes is you just turn it off and turn it on again. That's my tech savvy fix for everything. Turn it off, turn it on again. Okay, guys, anybody trade at all this morning? Where are we at? All right, we're in a balanced market. We are fading value area extremes, rejected IB low from yesterday and lower band, guys. So the theme has been over the last couple of weeks has been to we would sell out if we didn't rip out of the open, we'd sell out of the open and go to lower band, and that was always a buy spot. Always a buy spot. Unless it's going to be like a big red day, which we haven't had because this market has just been on a tear, right? So, you know, I'm really cautious about going short in a market like this, right? I'll fade value area extremes, maybe a higher time frame fade, but I'm not just going to short out of the boot, right? So I hit this lower band with size and took it to VWAP for a beautiful $1,000 profit across my 5 accounts. A couple of scalps on the way up here. So I am locked out of my top steps already, guys. I have $4,500 in profits in my 5 XFAs. 4,500 bucks. All right, one more trading day, I can take a profit out of here. We get paid. This will be a nice payout. You know, I might take give it another, I don't know, $2 grand maybe, and I'll take out $2 grand, leave 4,500 in there for the drawdown, and take a $10,000 payout. Hit 848, same trades in my top one, long. Beautiful trade, except I was on this account, I was long on the break of VWAP, and there was a minor back test, went long, and it just exploded to upper band. So all longs, no shorts, all longs. Waited on this, big sell-off, went long, grabbed another long off VWAP here, and we went to upper band, and there was another long off this back test of VWAP. And now we're breaking lower band. I still like longs, guys. We had broken into upper band on the month, lower band on the week. We're heading towards weekly VWAP. We're bullish on the month. We're above upper band. On the daily chart, we're in bullish territory. We're holding a point of control in this distribution here. Once we got through this low volume node, as next stop, if we can get there, will probably be 71. So some really nice trades. Really nice trades indeed. And I'll be trading my cash account now. And we'll see what opportunities present themselves in the market today for us. What are you guys seeing in NQ? Who's trading NQ? Who's trading gold? Who's trading what? We're at VWAP and IB low and gold right here, guys. We got rejected. 50% extension mark right there. I actually did take a long on gold on this break of IB. I grabbed about, I don't know, 20 ticks, 20, 30 ticks there. I think my top step, I grabbed a little trade on that. So what are you guys seeing out there? Morning, Robin. Morning to everybody watching on YouTube. Good to have you this morning. gonna be trading my cash account here. Rejected above IB low again. I don't like a short unless we get below 06. This is still bullish territory because we've traversed this lower volume node. So let's mark this out on our chart here. This is yesterday's volume profile, and we have a decent little volume node there, guys. So this is kind of, you know, our long short spot, right? So as long as we're above it, we're long. If we're below it, we're short. Let's do a little bit of a composite here. Let's hide this.
We're going to make a trade deal with India.
All right. I like 70 as a target. We're kind of at the point of control of this distribution, right? So that's right here. Okay. So that's what we're at right now, and that's kind of why we're hitting some. If we can get to the other side of this, we can trade to 52, and then we'll probably go to 68. If we get past 68, we'll go to 80. 137, that's the spot from yesterday that we shorted, right up here. Morning, Pradeep. Morning, German. I don't talk about fair value gaps. That's like an ICT thing, and we do low volume nodes. That's what has existed for years. It's the same thing. He just recalled it that. I think he's an idiot, so I don't do fair value gap, guys. The guy claims he was kidnapped by a white van and they gave him the secret algorithm of the markets. Anybody who listens to that fool is an idiot. It's ridiculous. The whole thing is absurd. He claimed he was kidnapped in a white van, and that during his kidnapping, they gave him the secret algorithm of the markets, and that's where ICT came from. And in other interviews, he claimed that Jesus Christ himself came to him and gave him the secret algorithm of the market. The guy's probably bipolar.
I'm still speaking.
ICT, Christine. ICT.
My patience has already run out. So at the moment on Fox News is currently
watch a couple of the interviews about him.
Trump asked about Iran.
They've also kind of tracked him down in his real life. Those are also quite comical. White van by the river with Chris Farley. Man, I miss Chris Farley. What a genius he was. Yeah, ICT probably needs some bipolar medications, to be honest. I mean, he's a smart dude, and all of the concepts are valid. They're just repackaged, renamed things that already exist. He didn't invent the fair value gap. It's just a low volume node on a volume profile. Same thing. They tend to be revisited. They act as support resistance, back test, all the same concepts. Yeah, Chris Farley was the best. I'll still throw on Tommy Boy here and there. All right, guys. So like I said, we're above the point of control. So next stop, you know, I'll probably, if we get a little pullback here, I'm going to look to go long. As long as we stay over 22,000, 2210, 15-ish, this gray box, I'm bullish. We've traversed this low volume node. You're now approaching the other side of value on this distribution. Okay. Who's got a little coat? Fat man in a little coat. Fat guy. Fat guy in a little coat. Oh man, I love that movie.
OpenAI says scale AI wasn't the best fit for its data needs.
So for those of you who are just joining, I think I saw a couple of you say, did I take some trades already? I did. I crushed the open, guys. I just happened to. So in my top steps, I'm up almost $1,000 across my 5 XFAs here. So I got $4,500 of profits in these 5 XFAs, 150K XFAs. So that's about 5 grand. And then in my top one, I did 850. So I'm up at 9K in profits in this instant funded account. Already took a payout out of this one. I'm working towards my next payout, and I got to get to 163. So I'm like 4 grand away from hitting a payout, my second payout in this funded account. So things are going well. Tomorrow is a holiday, guys, so I won't be trading tomorrow. So it's nice to go into a holiday on a winning streak. I'm going to trade my cash account, guys. I'm going to wait for a good, you know, we're still going straight up. I'm not buying here. We're approaching this low volume node here at 64. And we're just kind of grinding up. So I like longs, but I don't like longs right into, you know, the Globex high, and I don't like longs right into a low volume node on a composite volume profile. So we're going to look for a little bit of a pullback to 35 maybe, even 18. All right, my trade of 8 just crashed. It's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that was I'm in. So what I was talking about earlier on stream, if you're just joining us, is that there has been a theme out of the open where we sell off to lower band. It puts in a failed breakdown and it rips from there. That's been like, I've seen that set up so many times over the last couple weeks out of the open. So I anticipated it. Again, we had a nice flush. So the first 10 minutes out of the open here, I grabbed a contract at lower band, and then I grabbed another a little lower, and then we just went up from there. So I hit PT in one account before we even got back up to VWAP. We broke VWAP, back tested right around here. If I go to the 1 minute chart, it was like right here at 947. Broke, kind of held here, and I rode that all the way to upper band.
I'm speaking on the lawn again to reporters. If we go to the bottom of the app, we get the EA crude oil inventories forecast of a draw of 2.5 million.
Okay, here's that low volume node, and it looks like we're just pushing right through it. So I'm not going to short here. You know, maybe I'll take a little small size. I'll take one NQ and I'll give it like $300 of risk right here. Well, I didn't get filled because I'm on the wrong account here, so gotta log out.
Was a build of 1.504 million. There's still inventories with for a build of 1 million. prior was a build of 1.246 million. EI Crude Cushing inventories prior was a draw of 0.403 million. At the same time, we're expecting ECB officials to speak in a round table.
Okay.
So a reminder, last night with the API data crude oil stock change came in at a draw of 10.133 million, an expected draw of 0.6 million. Cushing stock change came in at a draw of 0.8 million, and a prior draw of 0.728 million.
Nice.
Gasoline stock change came in at a draw of
Caught about 15 points there.
Prior build of 2.969 million, and distillate stock change came in at a build of 0.318 million, compared to the prior build of 3.712 million.
So, you know, I just anticipated some sellers here because of the nature of this low volume node, probably like right around there. Spiked above it. Maybe a back test or a complete rejection. We have this area I like as a back test area. And then this is just a fat distribution right here.
Trump, when asked if he told Israel's PM Netanyahu that the US would help more, said no. So that's Trump saying he did not tell Netanyahu that the US would help more.
Okay, so we'll see. Got my first little scalp in the cash account under the belt today. One quick small little scalp there, 130 bucks. 5K in top step, 850 in top one. And that looks like it might have been the stop, guys. That might have been the nice little spot to hold on to. If we break below 58, we can go all the way back to 31. Oh, yes, good call. I didn't see that. Breaking above weekly VWAP here, so we might get a bit of a back test. I have, yes, absolutely. Yep. Hold on. Chris asked if I've used cumulative delta today for confirmations. Yep. So I also have cumulative delta right here on NQ. So I can glance up on my monitor and see it right here. So this was the red candle, and then we had buyers pretty much step in. This is light volume buying in, but pretty much afterwards, you know, this is the back test. This VWAP is not ideal. All right, so let me get my drawing tools. This is a 2-minute right now. So I use the cumulative. Somebody asked this yesterday. Or on YouTube. I don't like the cumulative delta on the higher time frames. Since it's a confirmation tool, I generally use this on a lower time frame. 1 minute, 2 minute. Even 1 minute is good. 1 minute really showed it, right? Here's where the buyer stepped in. Bigger than all the sellers of the last prior 2 minutes.
The Department of Defense.
This was probably a giant short squeeze. All these shorts. Right out. We had somebody dump a lot of contracts here. That was it. You know, for about 7 minutes. No volume, and then the buyer stepped in again. So that was a long off of VWAP right there.
5 minutes time now, actually bottom of the hour, do get the rates of the US EIA crude oil inventories. So crude inventories forecasted for a draw of 2.5 million on the prior draw.
You guys see that?
4 million range.
I do, Hella. I do. Let me go grab it. He asked if I have a YouTube video on cumulative delta.
6 million on the prior build of 1.504 million. Distillate inventories forecast to build 1 million on the prior build of 1.246 million. And crude Cushing inventories, the prior was a draw of 0.403 million.
Yep.
Trump wouldn't go into any further detail on the.
For anybody who wants to view that video, I just put it in the YouTube as well.
He gave Iran an ultimatum that you could say that.
No, I wouldn't. No, it's not done until it's done. We don't have an IB yet, and we're still at highs here on regular trading hours. So we don't have an IB yet, and it's still going up. We haven't put it in an official high. We're literally creating new highs as we speak. So no, we do not have an initial balance. This has been very strong. It's definitely okay to be patient today. Joven said, I finished my day in green 2 hours ago using my system. Awesome. Just resting now. Carl, I used Top Step and Top One to trade multiple accounts. S&P was super clean today, guys. That was even better for that buy out of the open. I mean, look at this. We got it right.
Trump says we're taking care of the debt ceiling issue.
Right to the tip. Look at that. Thing of beauty right there. So that also gave me conviction on NQ. Nice, be magical, great catch. Yeah, I mean that was the trade, and that's been the trade for the last few weeks. If you can catch that lower band.
The Trump on state and local tax level says hopefully a compromise will be made.
I'm surprised we're rallying so much on FOMC day. You'd expect more of a balanced market, but it's not that we're not in a balanced market. We're just not in a balanced market on the shorter time frame. We are very much in a balanced market on the week. We are at point of control on the week.
1 minute ago now, I'll leave the crude oil inventories back.
So we are literally at the highest volume mark that's been traded all week right now. So we are at the heart of value and balance on the higher time frame. Happy Powell. Yeah, so this isn't a great spot to trade, guys, because we are at point of control in the higher time frame. If anything, I would expect this to be a short. So I'm going to take a little short here. I'll take one. We'll see how we do. Give it a couple $100.
10 seconds.
We have oil inventories coming out. So my average price is 73 and a quarter.
Draw.
And we now have an IB.
73 million. A draw of 11.473.
Another pattern has been NQ selling off after IB is set.
A build, a draw of 0.209 million. A draw of 0.209 million compared to the expected build of 116 million. The gasoline build of 0.209 million compared to the expected build of 116 million. Distillate inventories, a build of 0.514 million compared to the expected build of 1 million. Crude Cushing inventories, a draw of 0.995 million compared to prior, which was a draw of 0.403 million.
Cumulative delta not really confirming. Maybe we get a little more downside here.
It has posted out the weekly EIA petroleum status report on the financials. Needs to be read through.
Seems everything's getting absorbed here. Yeah, I used delta histogram. I don't know why it's up there. Yeah, I don't like those buyers stepping in.
Just getting reports here on X.
I closed it.
Trump and Microsoft reiterates that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Go back to the report on X.
So you guys, no hesitation. When things change, market changes, the conditions for my trade change, all those buyers stepping in there. I close the trade. I don't need to, I'm not married to it, right? There's always another trade. Now that looks like it could have been a... Oh, wait. I mean, we are at point of control at the higher time frame. I'll take one more stab. I'll give it a little more room. See if it tries to push through IB high, or we get an IB fake. Break and reclaim.
US crude oil stocks fell in the latest week to the bottommost since June 2024, according to the EIA. Yeah, we did see a draw of over 11 million barrels.
So I'm watching this level, IB high right here. All right, do we get the IB poke and reject, or do we accept and hold? Oh, stopped out of that one too. All right, that could have been the reject. We back test here. Back in. Did hit it with a little size on that one. So I'm actually up 329. Strong. Here we go long. I'm gonna sit tight. Still have this short. I still have one contract here. Average price 89 3/4. So I'm down $70 on it right now. Well, you know, I wouldn't expect to go up all day because of FOMC. Now the market does whatever the hell it wants, obviously. Some sellers coming in. Do these contracts get scooped up though? That's the question. Would like to see a return to point of control here. I will be right back, guys. Be right back. Putting a stop loss up here.
Just a heads up, Trump is still on the lawn, by the way, so potentially could get more comments from him. Senate Democrat leader Schumer says he asked the Trump administration for a briefing of the Iran-Israel situation for all 100 senators. And Trump ends rest of comments to reporters at the White House.
Got out of break even. Like hitting my head against the wall here. Just go long, right? All right, well, now we wait. But, you know, if I'm going to take contrarian shorts like that, you better, you know, bet your ass I'm managing my risk on that stuff, guys. So, you know, I'm not just going to let it keep running against me. It depends on the setup. Maybe I will give it a lot of room, but, you know, not here. So we're up 327. Quite a bit of stop outs, even though 70% are profitable. That's nice. All right, let's see what we get. Morning, John. Joining us from Thailand. All right, I hit this thing one more time. Yes. That was it. Kept trying till I got it, guys. Boom. All right. 678. Now this is just going to point of control. You know, I trade level to level. So nice confirmation on cumulative delta though. That put me up nicely. 678. So we're at point of control. Hey, Lad. Good. Hi from Israel. Well, I hope you guys are staying safe over there. Thank you. Hope all is well. Yeah, 22,100, huh? So we're back at, got kind of bought up there. We're getting close to that lower band, but this, it's tough to buy lower band when cumulative delta looks like this. So I would probably wait for confirmation off of upper band before I bought it. And upper band is probably closer to 45 than 53. Yeah, this is more like it here. So this is that support area kind of marked off. Let's see if cumulative delta changes at all. There's been a pretty significant shift in the delta from here. Gilad asks, when do you target low volume node versus point of control high volume node for target? I guess it depends on the context, Elad. I wish that's not like, I wish it was a more straightforward answer. There's a lot going into my analysis and decision making. So I would say, higher time frame volume, high volume, low volume nodes, sorry, make better areas that I'm willing to short or go long from. And then I'll jump to the lower time frame for a target of a high volume node, typically on the lower time frame, right? So we went right down to the, here's point of control, the other side of this distribution, and we rallied from there. And that's why I take profits so quick, right? For a lot of you, you're probably like, why did I close that so fast? Right? It's selling off. You nailed it, right? Well, look what happened. We're back at highs, right? And that's a big reason why I'm consistently profitable and why a lot of traders aren't, because they're not willing to take profits or smaller profits when they get a good trade. You don't go broke taking profits, right? So I tend to trade level to level. I'll find a good level that I like. And if I have 2 contracts, maybe I'll hold on to one. But if I only have 1 contract, I'm getting off at the next stop. And what's the next stop? Point of control, other side of this distribution, this level, upper man. That's it. I'm not looking to go from highs to lows. Well, at least in my futures account. I'll do that stuff in my longer term trading accounts. And not with futures. More so with stocks or, and only to the long side. I don't short stocks anymore. Usually. Even though I did buy some SQQQ the other week.
Mission to UN on X says Iran does not negotiate under duress and shall not accept peace under duress.
Let's see if we can grab this one again.
Iran's mission to the UN says Iran shall respond to any threat with counter threat and any action with reciprocal measures.
I don't think I'm willing to give up a lot of my profits here, guys. I'll stop out here. We found support today at that low volume node on my daily chart.
also further to that Iranian UN mission that UN on X, they said no Iranian official has ever asked to grovel at the gates of the White House. The only thing more despicable than his lies is his cowardly threat to take out Iran's supreme leader.
Quite choppy up here at IB high, huh? I would expect a little bit more of a pullback. So they're accumulating to rip this thing higher. Brits, good morning. Hope you're doing well. I did. I went long with SQQQ, yeah. This gray band is the low volume node from the higher time frame, the composite from the last 3 days. So that's that low volume node. This one is this was a low volume node, I think.
Just reports VCB's enable from his.
I think it got filled in.
His growth rates in Germany.
Let me get rid of this one.
And it looks more like stagnation.
So, you know, if I were to create some other levels, you know, this is a low volume node right there. Oh, this was a point of control. That's what it was. This is the point of control of this high volume node. Once again, point of control. See if I can bring this to upper band here this time. $961. I'm having a great day today. It's because my Panthers won. Florida Panthers, baby. Stanley Cup champions 2 years in a row. All right. What time did I take my trades on Top Step? Let's pull them up. I took a bunch of trades that I got, like, they were just getting me nowhere. I took a lot of stop outs. So let's say 618. I took a bunch of trades. So yeah, look at these small trades. You know, just chip hits, a couple losers. I kept trying to catch this move that wasn't coming. You guys see me do that on stream as well. And then I finally caught the long. So this is, you know, 932, 941, 941, 944. Right after the open. This one I closed. 932, I closed for a small loss. That was top side. This is my cash account.
The ECB's lane chairing keynote session and 9th annual Prudential conference organized by Deutsche Bank.
Robin, if I had a 50K account and I was going for longevity, I for sure would trade micros. Absolutely trade micros. That 2K drawdown is very small for me. I can blow that in one trade easily. The way I trade with minis. Maybe two trades. Maybe, hopefully not one trade. If I do it in one trade, I'm doing something wrong. But I also make mistakes. I'm not perfect. Yeah, I think 5 micros is plenty aggressive. You know, you only have to make $200 a day.
So put the detail to the
You know, if you make $200 a day across 5 accounts, that's good money.
and the remaining delegation for negotiation may have just landed in Oman. They're reposting again now, saying that an Iranian delegation has arrived in Oman, and that they're saying that that's confirmed by a major news wire. So again, they're saying that an Iranian delegation has arrived in Oman.
I think Iran is shook. They sound shook. Says getting that $200 a day seems so freaking hard, man. Yeah, I mean, as you get better, it becomes easier. I shoot for about $1,000 in profit across my accounts. 800 to 1,000. I'm pretty consistent with it, but I've also been trading a long time. I also wrote the book on the VWAP Wave system, so that helps. Literally wrote the book. All right, let's see what we get. So we're kind of selling off through this area, you know, the long. We're getting close. If we want to take a shot at a long here at upper band, we might not quite get there. I'm going to try and front run it a little bit. All right, that put me over $1,000. I'm happy. All right, guys. I'm going to continue watching with you guys, but I think I'm done taking trades.
5 minutes to go now until we're expected to hear.
Tomorrow's a holiday, and I've had a really good trading day, and I want to go into my holiday with some nice money under my belt. Take my wife out to a nice breakfast tomorrow. Go to the beach. But I'm going to sit here. We're going to keep calling this market. Robin, my first experience day trading full time goes all the way back to 2010. I worked for a prop firm in Boca Raton. That was 15 years ago. I was 29 years old. Now, I haven't traded full time that entire time. I've built businesses. I'm an entrepreneur. I do a lot of different things. So far, that was the buy spot, guys. So far, kind of aligned with a couple of things going on here. This is the low volume. This is the value area low. And we got a little high volume node here, you know, so it might be a little bit of an area, but, you know, the next spot is probably 37. It took a long time to get profitable, Robin. I'm not going to lie to you. I lost money my first year. I lost money my second year. My third year, I broke even. And I started making money my fourth year. I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade, but that was my experience. Now, granted, the education we had is nothing like the education you guys have now. Nothing even remotely close to what is available now. So you guys have a huge edge in the education available to you guys that we simply did not have. Also, we had PDT requirements. You don't have that with futures. What part is insane, Robin? What part? Anderson, no, I like small reactions because I like a high win rate trading system. And I can finish. I can take lots of setups and be done relatively quick. As opposed to going for bigger moves, you're going to have a lower win rate system. You could potentially make a lot more money. But, you know, I like being done trading in like 2 hours. In order to like be really profitable with a lower win rate system, you have to sit in front of the screens for a long time. You have to wait for the best setups, and those might not come in the first hour or two of the day. You might have to be watching all day for the best setup to get a big R-to-R trade. So it doesn't work for just small reactions. It works for, you can use it on the higher time frames. You can trade these weekly and monthly VWAPs. Right? You can hold this thing all day. If you have enough margin, you could hold it for multiple days. You don't have to day trade. So I use this system on credit spreads, on options I trade for multiple weeks. I don't talk about that here. It's completely separate. Oh, thanks, Robin. Robin said it's insane that I'm cool and collected. Yeah. It is my job. It's a job that I love, but it's a job. It's a lot of work. You know, it's also a lot of work is running and marketing a education business. That's probably more demanding than the trading itself, but I find it very rewarding. JP said this price action reminds me a lot of the pattern of the last few days. Yep. Easy to get chewed up on the chop before the big move. Absolutely. But we had a good level there, guys. I bought right down here.
$68 billion in 6 months.
That was the bottom of this gray box I marked out, and it was pretty close to the upper band. Great buy spot. That was the setup. Price discovery continuation long. It's set up on NQ. Didn't set up on ES, but it's set up nicely on NQ. Pretty close. So we had, this is a low volume node on the composite. We have upper band, and then we have value area low and a low volume node on the regular trading hours volume profile. So we had a lot kind of stacked right here to go long. Blair says, I've been trading for 3.5 years and only have 3K in profit after digging out of a 10K hold. Not uncommon. In fact, Blair, you know, you can lose, people lose lots of money, Blair. Like, no joke. I personally know people who have lost millions of dollars trying to day trade because they came into the market with so much money, didn't know what they were doing, and just lost large amounts of money. Now, granted, these people have lots of money to begin with. However, that stings. I don't care who you are. Losing $1 million day trading. It's one thing if you lose $1 million because you're invested and the economy tanks, whatever. But
City West is to sell $7 billion of 5-year notes.
targeting value area high. I mean, that's, yeah.
30th,
That's high of,
7-year notes on June 26th.
that's high of day.
June 30th.
Is value area high. So you're targeting high of day. Hopefully we can break up back up above initial balance. I'm just worried with FOMC. That might be it. I'm surprised we got that much, to be honest with you. So tomorrow is going to be a holiday, so I'm not trading. I'm going to try and set up the stream and make it a little, I don't know, a little more updated. You know, some of these guys have like the chat on the screen and you can see all this stuff. I'm going to try and update it, make it a lot cooler. You can see my P&L. You'll be able to see some prices. Yeah, I'm going to do a group session tomorrow. Yep, I'm going to do it at 12:30. That's still on. I'm just not trading live. We're going to do a Q&A today at 12:30. And we're going to do group coaching tomorrow at 12:30. Getting a lot of new people joining the group today, guys. Really exciting to have all these new members. It's a pleasure being able to work with you guys. Q&A is going to be today, Corey. Group coaching is going to be tomorrow. Both are going to be at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. I meant to do Q&A yesterday, but I double booked myself. I did a great interview with Kobe from our group. He was unprofitable until he found the VWAP Wave system, and he pulled out almost $30,000 in payouts this month using the VWAP Wave system. He's a very bright young man, and he did really, really well with it. I sound so old when I say that, but yeah, he's a young man to me. He's 28. I'm 44. It took him about a month, Chris. No joke. Now, he was obviously very aggressive with it. Not everybody's that aggressive. That's all right, JP. I have a lot of older friends, too. I get along with everybody.
Just to further detail that, Senate Democrat wants to know whether Trump's 50% tariff on imported steel and aluminum has increased prices for canned food and beverages. So in a letter sent Wednesday, CEOs of Walmart, Kroger, Albertsons, Costco, and Dollar General asked retailers to
You're very welcome, Blair. My pleasure, guys. Really.
food costs, store equipment, such as shelves, refrigerators.
I love trading. I love trading so much that I love helping other people trade. I really do. I could talk about this stuff I do talk about this stuff all day. My wife thinks I'm crazy. She knows nothing about trading. Zero. Zilch. If I even try and talk about it, her face just goes blank. Her eyes glaze over. So yeah, we don't talk about trading much. I actually only talk about trading with traders, really. It's the only people I really can talk to about trading. It's people who trade. Yeah, Jay. Oh, there's some good, this was a good long opportunity. That was a good setup. You're not pulling out a ton, but you could have gotten 20 points there. We did talk about this short up here. There's a couple of rotations here to go short. There was a long opportunity here around 10-10. So, not terrible. Anderson, do I normally have a set stop loss? Yeah, I mean, it's dynamic. It doesn't like get placed on the screen automatically. And it's usually based on how much an amount I'm willing to risk on that trade. Like I'm willing to give up, risk $400 on this trade, right? When I do that, it mentally makes me okay with how much it's going to be. Most people struggle with the fact that, if a trade gets too red on them, they don't want to cut it because they don't want to take that loss. And then you get stuck holding the bag on a losing trade that just keeps getting worse. So, if anything, that's what I'm trying to prevent. Stuck holding the bag. I can always get back in a trade. I'll take a lot of scratches. I'll take a lot of small losers. I took a couple of losses up here trying to nail the short here, and then I got 2 good ones out of it. Oh, yeah. JJ, I've been there more times than I care to imagine. Back when I was trading stocks, right? Oof. I get stuck holding the bag. It was intended to be a day trade. Oh, I own this. I'm an investor. I'm investing in the stock now. All right, JJ. Yeah, those were wild times. Made a lot of money. Lost a lot of money. It's like the Wild West. That was like the casino. Small caps are nuts. Danny, he's killing it. Danny made like 20 grand yesterday. I still talk to Danny. I talk to Danny, Manoli, Herman. Yeah. Jesse. I don't want to trade like that anymore. I don't like it. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't asked him. I know he just had a baby. He never posts or talks about it. I know Max still is. So Mike's asking, what do I mean aggressive with Kobe? Yeah, he was taking bigger size, taking a lot of trades. He'd be watching the market all day, waiting for good trades. All day and night, actually. He'll trade whenever. This guy's so he owns his own business, and he has like monitors up on his wall, and he's just watching the market all day. Robin says, how do I know when tick strike is accurate to get in? Well, it's more of a confirmation tool than it is something I rely on accuracy. And it depends on the type of trade, right? So if I'm doing a first touch trade, it's coming to a level I like. I'm not going to wait for it to reverse and go the other way on tick strike. What I'm waiting for is it to stall out or go quiet. Okay. But if it's like, it's humming right away, right through my area, I'll probably pass on the trade. There's just too much selling or buying pressure to take a first touch trade. Now, if I'm looking for a confirmation trade, like when we come back to an upper band on a continuation trade, which I don't always use first touch, I'll wait for buying confirmation on tick strike. So waiting for the reversal. Buying pressure comes in. Tick strike starts telling me there's buying on the tape, then I'll get in with a stop underneath the low. All right, so we're breaking under this level. Now this is like a big low volume area. We can go through this fast. But I do expect to probably catch a little bit of a bid at 37.25. Right now, this is on a 1 minute. I have a 5 minute right here that I'm watching too. Could get a little more of a curling here. That'd be interesting. If anybody wants to try and go long here. Good spot to kind of manage risk. This is weekly VWAP. This is the bottom of my gray box. Okay, buyers step in a little bit on tick strike. Let's see if they can keep it going. Things are very slow right now. There we go. Nope. Thank you, Jamon.
Macklin says recent progress towards new Canada-US trade deal is encouraging, and we are following developments closely. And in that prospect of new Canada-US
Are you, JJ?
hope that tariffs will be removed. Cutting rates would be more difficult if recent firmness in
Grab this long down there.
until a trade deal, inflation will be affected by both US tariffs and
I can't seem to get a.
Bank of Canada is proceeding carefully with monetary policy, and a rate cut could be needed if effects of US tariffs and uncertainty continue to spread.
So I'm at 62 with like a 10 stop, 10 point stop.
We are watching closely for signs that weakness in the job market is broadly. The boss says that we're assessing inflationary impacts of tariffs. Assessing inflationary impact of tariffs has been.
It could have been your pop.
Easily change size and scope of tariffs. Final domestic demand in Canada was soft in Q1, Tariffs and uncertainty continues, households and businesses are more likely to remain cautious. Also, Fitbit's for forward close total 256.2 million dollars.
Iran facing nationwide internet outage. It's interesting. A lot of the selling's being absorbed, but the sellers might overwhelm the buyers. So let's see what happens. Some buyers stepped in there. Nothing too exciting. It's kind of being sold into already. There it goes. Well, the range has been crushed. These candles, these 1 minute candles are like 5 points. It's awful. I'll be right back.
We have President Canada's government back speech on the financial newsfeed titled "The Impact of US Trade Policy on Jobs and Inflation in Canada." Reminder, Macklem is also due to speak later on at a press conference as well. We do have his video.
Just feels like there's a lot of buyers here. Like passive buyers.
Just seeing a report here, a third US aircraft carrier to be prepared to be deployed to the CENTCON region, according to CNN.
It's 35 levels, interesting.
have posted a video where we'll be speaking. One of the videos starts in about 10 minutes. He is scheduled to speak at 12:40 p.m. Eastern Time.
Cumulative delta is just bleeding out.
CNN USS board carrier strike group expected to deploy to Europe. So CNN says USS board carrier strike group is a scheduled deployment.
I mean, we all know he's not raising rates. Or lowering rates, I mean, cutting rates. And then the same stupid comments. Data dependent, blah, blah, blah. Follow the data, blah, blah, blah. Labor market is tight, blah, blah, blah. You know, like years of the same narrative. It just bleed out. First real buyers stepping in. Can they hold it? Ah, good to know, Grizz. Good to know. Thanks for the feedback. You know, across multiple accounts, Fritz, you know, I'll probably do like 15 round trips. It's only because I trade multiple accounts. Is there a best time during the day to use the wave system? I mean, there is. After the initial balance, early afternoon, power hour. The more data you have, the better. I actually, I break it down in the book. All the time frames, the best times to use it. There it goes. Can we get a little bit of an uptick here? That'd be nice. NQ looks a little stronger than ES, per usual. I mean, high frequency is subjective. There's traders that trade 100, 200 trades a day. can tell you to do most of that in less than 2 hours. It's really subjective. The problem with the return to value short is the volume profile. You know, we're at value area low in this distribution. I think the higher likelihood trade is a return to point of control. We have a lot to get through to get to, on the volume profile, to get back to VWAP.
Just wanted to the source of X. They're showing footage reportedly showing the power plant in Haifa in Israel burning following Iran strikes.
And Q's back up at upper band. So the volume profile, very powerful today. Up here.
So just a reminder, at the bottom of the hour, we get the 4-week bill auction from the US. The US looking to sell $65 billion.
Oh, that's a nice little sell-off.
2.22%. Prior bid cover 2.96.
Nice back test of upper band on NQ there. Beautiful. So that was a good return to value back test on NQ. It's getting brought up. Fascinating. All right, well, I'm going to close my cash account here, guys. 1,100 bucks. See what else we get. Think it might work out for you, Corey, at least a little bit. 53, another 10 points to VWAP. That'd be cool if you got it. You can try and hold it to VWAP, Corey? That would be great. It could happen. I'm with you. If we can get through this next this low volume node here is, this is also IB low, I think. Oh, we went to yesterday's IB low. Look at that. So this area, really key. Climax on which time frame are you looking at?
Just a heads up, Trump's scriptures are sacked. Speak on Bloomberg TV at 11:40 a.m. Eastern Time. We have posted a video.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, wait, that's...
US sells $65 billion of forward bills at a high rate of 4.060% and awards 48.91% of its high bid cover ratio of 3.15. It's a bid cover ratio of 3.15 compared to
Well, that's cool, huh?
3.22.
Nice levels on that 2-minute on ES. On this indicator.
Merz expressed hope for an agreement in US-EU tariff round in the coming days.
All right, JP. Yeah, this is slow, grindy, downwards price action right here. Not ideal. All right, Robin asks, what do I mean by back test? All right, so a back test is when we break a level and go back and test it. So, for example, this upper band, all right, we broke it, we back test. That's a back test. So break, back test, and if it holds, that's a great short. Let's see if I can find another one. Break, back test, up, break, back test, down. And that stuff always happens. Well, if you're trading the level to level, right? So let's pull out our volume profile. Robin asks, what would I target if I were short from there? I mean, so we have a low volume node right here. So that would be the first target. We have yesterday's IB low there. We have VWAP right there. So these are levels that you should take profits at, because they could bounce at any one of these levels. It could reverse. So when I say I'm trading level to level, if I short here, I'm going there. I don't think there's enough room in my office. It's kind of small in here. I was thinking about one day maybe getting like a retail space and opening up like a day trading office where people can have a desk and trade and have a collaborative environment. That's down the line. Oh, man. Where do you live, Corey? I was going to say, maybe we get a satellite office. I could pop in once or twice a month. Where in Texas? Abilene. Very nice. We probably won't live in Florida forever. My wife's a nurse and she's in school to be a nurse practitioner, and the healthcare system just isn't great in Florida. So it would serve her career for us to go someplace different for her, for a state that has a better healthcare system. They both pay better, and it's just better overall, better employees, better staff. Oh, nice. Yeah, nursing school is tough, man. Very challenging. It's a wonderful career. I hope the healthcare system in Texas is better than Florida. I used to live in Oregon. I lived in Bend, Oregon, Chris. It's awesome. I loved it there. Spent a year living there. Yeah, that's the only blockbuster. That's right. Last blockbuster. I think it's the last blockbuster ever is in Bend, Oregon. That's right. Talk about random knowledge. You win the random fact of the day, Hella. So, we'll probably keep our house in Florida, but we're not gonna, I don't know if we'll live here full time. I got to keep my residency so I don't have to pay income taxes. State income taxes. Finally, waiting something. Yeah, this price action's brutal, guys. We're pretty much at the same price we've been for the last half hour. Give or take 10 points. Cumulative delta really isn't convincing yet. Let me blow it up a little bit. Oh, that could have been a little bit of a wick there. Do we short this pop again? I don't even have a trading platform open. I'm done. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up here, only because we have group coaching, Q&A at 12:30. So at 12:30, you guys head on over to the classroom. And we will do our Q&A. So if you have any questions, need help with something, bring it to the Q&A at 12:30. And we'll go over it. All right, guys. So if you're going to keep on trading, manage your risk. Oh, look at that. Look at that. What did I say? Sell the pop, right? Sell it. That was a low volume bounce right there. No news. Just somebody dumping on everybody. All right, guys. We're going to move to the classroom at 12:30. I'll see you guys there. If you're going to keep on trading, manage your risk, stay sharp. If you want to keep trading, you're welcome to use the Trader Lounge. You guys can share your mics, share your screens if you want to keep trading. Otherwise, I'll see you guys at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. We'll do our Q&A. Bring your questions. I will see you there. All right. See you in a little bit, guys.